What's up, y'all? Ooh. I don't want to take too long. A lot of people did not know that I went on the Philly retreat with Master Fundi Feet. I'm just going to cut to the chase. And it was great. Great. Everybody I met was great. What I learned was great, and I got it. Well, I got it for now, What I want to talk about is how the universe, or God, communicates with me. And I've come to realize that when I get to a certain space and I take the mind away and I take what nature brings away, which is doubt, laziness, fear, the universe gets to talk to me. Not exactly talk to me directly, like give me a call and Jesus be on the line like, hey girl, what's poppin'? Not like that, but different things, different signs. And when I'm in my mind and I'm in that type of nature where fear, doubt, laziness set in, and I'm in that state of my mind, I misinterpret the signs or I don't see them clear. Let me give you an example of what happened to me today. And I hope you get to see what I see out of it. So, I'm at my boyfriend's house. And he's watching like a Kung Fu channel or some shit like this. And it's a movie coming on about it's a white guy. Some Aryan wannabe Conan looking motherfucker. So, I ain't paying that too much mind. I'm watching him for what he doing. But then like in the middle of the movie, I started paying attention. Before I get to where I started paying attention at, I need to explain the gist of the movie. I don't know what the name of the movie is. All I know is that David Carradine was in it, and he played like 5 different characters, and one of them was some old sultan motherfucker that kind of was in like blackish face, brown face, whatever you want to call it. Anywho, the white dude was looking for an enlightened book. And he had to find this dude named Zartan. And he felt like he had to fight this cat named Zartan. But before he went to fight the cat Zartan, he had to go through all these trials and tribulations. Now, of course, I started paying attention when I see David Carradine in brown face or blackish face. And I'm like, what the fuck is David Carradine doing in blackish face? What the fuck going on here? But it's on some old sultan shit, and he got black people there, and da-da-da. So I said, let me see what the fuck going on. So the white dude was there, and there was a black dude there, like a black dude, you know what I'm saying? Like from the 70s with the freaking Goth. Y'all know from Knight Rider? Goth, he had the Goth sideburn show. So here he go. He fight that dude, David Carradine fight that dude. And defeat him. So he's like, yo, we gonna fight to the white dude. We gonna fight tomorrow. We go to sleep first. Now all this time, all this been going on, the white dude was looking at one of his wives and she ain't never show her face. Basically, she comes up in the mix and she had sex with the dude. The dude took a vow of celibacy. And she decided that, she gonna have sex with the dude. The dude looked in love, everything. And by the time she was done with this man, he was curled up in a ball with a big smile on his face. The only thing missing on this man's face was the thumb in the mouth. Okay? So, when he wakes up now, he ends up in the desert. And he takes a couple steps looking for the shorty, and the shorty is crucified like on some old makeshift medieval cross. Not a Jesus cross, but a cross nonetheless. And, the stake, instead of in her wrist, is going through her pum pum. But I digress. So he's upset, he mad, he funky, he runs, he goes wherever he got to go. And at some point in time, he falls asleep and he faces death. And at this point in time, he's like, I'm not afraid of you no more, death. So you can come at any time and I'll be ready for you. He turns around from death. Death goes about his business. And he finds this blind man who also is David Carradine. So he wants to follow the blind man, and before he follows the blind man says, you know, are you mad because, you know, the Sultan dude killed the woman? And the white boy goes, no, I killed the woman. He said, you know, I really fell in love, and when you love something and you hold on to it so tightly, you could kill it. So in essence, I killed her. So the blind dude is like, all right, that's what's up. And the blind dude plays the flute now. Okay? So the white boy looks at the blind dude and he's like, well, I guess I must be following you now, because, you know, well, he was like, well, wasn't that a trial right there? And the white dude goes, no, that was not a trial. That was a lesson. So the white dude goes, so David Carradine goes, okay, he's the blind guy. Okay. So the white guy's like, yeah, I'm going to follow you. So the blind guy's like, nah, you ain't following me. You can't follow me. You are too impatient and you are too judgmental. You cannot follow me. So the white guy goes, yo, I will do anything to follow you. And the blind guy says, the only way you can follow me is if, as you follow me, you cannot ask me any questions until I give you the answer. Now, you know, this whole time, the white boy asking mad questions, being mad judgmental. They going through all kinds of shit. And he's like, why are you doing that? And of course, the blind guy is not paying him no mind. It seems like he's going in mad circles, going back to this, doing that 3 times, going back to it, having soldiers chase him, all kind of extra shit. He closes his eyes for a couple seconds. He sees a vision of a beautiful young boy treating his parents like shit. He wakes up, walks over to the parents of that community, smacks the shit out of the beautiful little boy, breaks his nose, and sends him off to the parents. And the parents are actually smiling. Of course, the white guy's like, what is that? I'm leaving now. Because, you know, he threatened to leave a couple times. And, of course, the blind guy was like, well, go ahead and leave. I'm not holding you to nothing. Go ahead. So the white guy is mad. He's like, now I'm leaving. Now, he's like, you know, I need to know why. Since I'm not following you anymore, I need to know why. And everything that the blind guy explained was true, right, and just. But here you go. So the blind guy was like, now that I've told you all the answers to everything and now you understand it, I am releasing you. You not following me no more. You might not want to follow me, but I'm not fucking with you. I'm out. So I guess the white boy learns his lesson. You know what I mean? And he goes back to the Sultan to fight the Sultan. Because remember, he ain't get to fight no Sultan. He ended up in the desert with the homegirl that dead. So he goes to the Sultan now. And the Sultan's like, what you want to do? He's like, I want to fight. Well, he's like, you fighting me because of the woman? He's like, nah. So he's like, well, what you confront me for? He's like, because I want to get to Zartan. I want to get to this book. So I got to fight you to get to the book. He was like, well, let's wait another day. He's like, nah, homie. Right now. So he's like, okay, bet. So now when the Sultan fights, it's all this music playing, belly dances, all kind of extra shit. And mind you, the Sultan ain't so blackish no more. He a little bit tan now. You know, he got a good tan. Now he looking like Puerto Rican or something with the Jesus hair. So he fighting the white boy. And while the white boy is fighting him, he turns into the monkey dude, Death, you know, all the cats that he fought beforehand. And of course, the white boy win. So when the white boy win, the Sultan says, all right, now that you beat me, here's the boat on the way to Zartan. All right. So he get on the boat. And he get to the spot where Zartan is at. He ready to fight. My man is in some old nice little paradise robe. You know, there's a bunch of monks walking around, blah, 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 this, that, and the third. So, let me step back a little bit. Now, while the white boy and the blind man was going through their shit, right after the blind man said, in order for you to follow me, you can't say nothing, ask no questions, or be judgmental until I give you the answer. I looked at my boyfriend and I said, yo, the white boy is me, and the blind man is Master Fundifi. And, you know, he made a little snide comment. I ain't going there. But yeah, continuing on with the movie now. So, you know, the white boy is like, yeah, this is all nice or whatever, but I'm here for Zartan. So they're like, Zartan is here now. Zartan is Christopher Lee. If you old school, you know who Christopher Lee is. So, you know, he got the fucking, this weird old hat, pinhead hat, you know, the cone head hat, but it wasn't so tall. So he had the cone head hat, little lavender gear and whatever, sniffing flowers. And the homie's like, he ready to fight. He don't give a fuck about no whatever that I'm chat about. So Zartan, so he's like, yo, I'm here to fight. Zartan's like, fight for what? And homie's like, yo, I want the book. He's like, oh, the book. Well, come get the book. You know, you could be the keeper of the book. So he's like, sit on the seat of harmony, Christopher Lee. So the white boy sit on the seat of harmony. So, you know, he talking his talk, and he's ready to touch the white boy. The white boy grabs his hand and says, nah, don't fucking deflect. Get to the book. I want the book. So as they're giving him the book, Christopher Lee says this: I did not look at the book, and I became keeper of the book. And I've been told that those who look at the book are astonished or something like that. You know, they can't believe what they see in the book. But I never looked at the book. So some people who have come here year after year, people have come here to look at the book. And they've either become teachers or they become seekers of those who want to get the book. They provide the trials. So homeboy's like, I don't give a fuck, give me the book. So homie opens up the book. He puts his hand over the cover of the book, and he opens up the book. And if I'm not mistaken, the book is a circle that almost looks like yin and yang. You definitely see a wu chi of some sort, but it's not exactly that. But this man is looking in a mirror at himself. Every page he turns has the circle with a line, not exactly in the middle, but somewhere at the side, if I'm not mistaken. But him in the reflection of it. He like turns like 6 or 7 pages, and they all have the same mirror where he's looking at himself. He closes the book. So once again, you know, Christopher Lee, you know, it was earlier, so I might be jumping in and out and not telling the story right. But Christopher Lee once again is like, yo, I need you to be the keeper of the book. You know what I'm saying? Now that you've seen what it is, and now you're supposed to have seen everything. And, you know, he's like, now, please be the keeper of the book so you can release me. He said, release you? Yo, my man closes the book, starts laughing, gives the book back, and laughs and walks away. Christopher Lee at this point is practically begging this man to become the keeper of the book so he can be released to do whatever he feels free to do. But remember, this man never looked at the book. White boy looked at the book. laughing his ass off. White boy goes back to the blind man, sits next to the blind man, and the blind man's playing the flute. Once he realizes it's him, he goes, "So you got to the book?" And homie was like, "Yeah, I saw the book." He was like, "And what'd you see?" And the white boy is like beaming, smiling, you know what I'm saying? He's faced death, all them things, you know what I mean? And not for nothing, all of them was David Carradine. But he went face all these trials, tribulations, da-da-da. Yo, my man's face is shining bright like a sun. He's a white boy, he got the brown hair, whatever, but literally, he's looking like a bronze sun. And he goes, "Yeah, I've seen everything." So the blind man gives him a hug, right? Gives him a hug, like a deep ass hug. Like, me and my dude was like, "Is they gonna be boyfriends or something?" Not that there's anything wrong with that, but they didn't do that. David Carradine, as the blind man, rubs his head, like a little brother or whatever, gives him the flute. The white boy starts to play the flute, and the blind man dances. So instead of releasing Christopher Lee, who was in this paradise, of peace, and everything looked beautiful and everything was on point, because at one point, as the white boy was walking through his Zartan, he saw a bunch of children with some water, and he was like, "Well, what are they doing?" And he's like, "Well, they're trying to perfect perfection." And he was like, "Oh, that's nice." He was like, "Well, why are you not with them?" So Zartan says something to the effect of, "Oh, well, we feel here that the teacher and the student should work together." And he's like, "Oh, that's very progressive, very nice." And of course, I looked at my boyfriend and was like, "That's a little bit too progressive. It's a little bit too good, But instead of releasing Zartan, the white boy goes and releases the blind man, who was the true teacher after all. And to me, that was indicative of the whole Philly retreat. Remember, I'm the white man. I ain't reached that sunshine, and I ain't reached the enlightened book yet. But I think I'm at the point where, I meet with the blind man, and the blind man has already told me in order for me to follow him, I can't say nothing. Can't ask no questions. I can't be judgmental until an answer is given to me. Now, I'm not exactly saying that the blind man is Master Fundi Fee, but I'm correlating that to that because I went on this Philly retreat. And literally, she, in layman's terms, she said that to me at some point in time or another. So you see how the universe talked to the kid? Showed me that I shouldn't be afraid of death like I was. I shouldn't, hold on to the love that I lost. Even my boyfriend was my teacher today. And I'm very grateful to see that lesson too. Even though it's cloudy out here, it's an awesome day. It's an awesome universe we live in if we get to see the awesomeness despite the bullshit. And the bullshit is fun. But that awesomeness is dope. So, I just want to thank everybody that was at that retreat. Even the ones who left with me, came down with me, especially that one. It helped me learn how to replenish myself. I even went to work yesterday and somebody said, "Hey, you look a little bit more alive today." Thank you. I am. Ooh, 20 minutes, almost 15 seconds to spare. I'm getting real good, Wody. I'm navigating like a motherfucker, boy. Whoop, whoop. Thank you very much. Goodbye.